Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is John. I'm a full-time eBay reseller based in Melbourne, Australia. So the listing video that I did a few days ago has been going quite well. A lot of you guys have mentioned that it's nice to know that somebody factors in your capacity. That's important. If you can't sustain what you're trying to do, if you cannot sustain the listing numbers that you're trying to keep up, you're not going to keep at it, you'll feel discouraged, and it just all kind of fizzles out. I do want to point out one qualification though. Oftentimes when I challenge someone to increase the amount of listings they can do, the response I get back is, yeah, nah, or, you know, I really can only do 3 or 4 a day and that's about it, or I can only do, 2 or 3 in the hour that I set aside. That is fine if you have no intention to grow the business. When you're in growth mindset versus sustainable output mindset, they lead to two different kinds of behavior. Obviously, if you're starting out and you are small and you are thinking of how to turn this into a business, which means you don't know yet if it can be a business. You don't know yet if the output that you can reliably put out can actually be relied upon to, cover expenses, to transition from a job. You have to be in growth. You cannot be in sustainable output. You cannot be comfortable trying to do what you can sustain long term. At the early stages, your focus needs to be, if I think I can do 2 listings an hour, I'm going to aim for 10. And if I hit 6, that's at least better than the 2 that I was settling for. So when trying to grow, all we're doing, we're not trying to, because I get, I suppose, feedback, right? That, oh, I don't need that much money, or I don't need that. Yeah, I get that. But do you know how much you can actually make? Those are two different questions. Like, it's one thing to say I only need to make $5,000 a month or $4,000 a month or whatever your number, 500 a month, right? eBay fits all those needs. It's another thing to go, I know that if I want to, I can make an additional X. That's really what we're doing. If you're trying to figure out how much you can list every hour, every 2 hours, with the aim of wanting to know for yourself what your capability is within your category of choice, you're going to try and get a number that is not going to be sustainable. That's a fact. Because in order for you to grow and then hire staff and then, outsource work to a casual staff member, a VA overseas, you first have to be able to work beyond what you can do on your own, isn't it? Otherwise, there's nothing to delegate. So if you're trying to figure out what you can achieve, and then by expansion, what your business can achieve, because we don't start doing eBay as a way of getting another job. We do it because we want it to eventually be a thing that we can create employment, that eventually we take steps back, but we still make the same amount of money, if not more. That's the whole reason why we put in all this effort and time building a business. So there needs to be a regular visitation to the growth clinic. Let's call it that, where we work out, okay, if I really push myself, I can do 10 listings a day, 20 listings a day. But given my current life stage and where I need to be with school drop-offs, with after-school activities, with health, with disability, whatever it might be, I can only do 5. And that's okay. We're not trying to resolve this tension every single day because that's stressful. It's like, that's not how I want you to see it. You're not capable of doing 10 and constantly disappointing yourself doing 5 daily. This is sustainable output. This is growth output. So you can set yourself up to do growth and constantly remind yourself that when I'm ready to grow, I can do it. Because I think a lot of times what resellers do is they start doing 1 or 2, it's easy. They get to 3 or 4, it's easy. Then they get to that 5. I'm just using numbers as an example. I'm assuming 10 is max and 5 is somewhere in the middle. They get to 5, they do it regularly. It's like, yeah, this is the extent of my business. No, it's not. Because if you can comfortably do that and push people to get that 6 and that 7, now you need a casual person if you can do this consistently. You get to 8, 9, 10. Assuming this is comfortable for you, if you can do 10 and do it sustainably, whilst giving up some social activity, whilst giving up some family activity, whilst giving up some sleep, you've essentially created a full-time job. Think about that. That's pretty amazing. So when thinking about what you can do, you need to recognize why you're doing it. to sustainably output versus to figure out if you can grow. And I recommend trying the two, making sure you have this all the time. This is what feeds your family, and just visiting regularly the growth clinic to go, all right, this week we've got no social activity, or this week I don't want to see people. You know, I'm generally quite like averse to social activity because I find them quite draining. So I'll go for a couple of big things here and there, a couple of catch ups, but for the most part, I don't really value the regular coffee date with somebody the way Jenny does. Jenny does like her catch ups weekly. So there are weeks when I'll go, hey babe, leave me alone. I want to see what I can do. And then I go to the growth clinic for that week and I go, can I list to 3 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week? Wake up, still do the school drop off, still drive, still cook meals for the family, still take the kids for activity. And then the next week, I'll go back to sustainable output. What I find though is when I push the engine, right, to really see what I can do to make sure I can still do that, the sales go up. I'm forced to challenge myself to match that with sustainable output a little bit more. And then eventually they both kind of resolve closer together as well, and which is what you want. So this is, I suppose, if you want to look at it, the advanced class on the listing goal episode. Watch them both back to back. I'll link it in the description below as well. Once again, thanks for watching the channel. Thanks for watching this video. And look, all I want is for you to grow. That's it. There's so much stuff to sell. I can't sell all of it. All of us can sell all of it. So join in and grow. Until next video, take care. Happy reselling. Bye.